Tuesday, day 2 of the Democratic National Convention. Bobby Seale, chairman of the Black Panther Party, addresses a crowd in Lincoln Park.
He gave a wild speech telling the kids in vulgar language to go out and find themselves a policeman and lay him on the morgue slab.
But we are here as revolutionaries to let them know that we refuse to accept those political decisions that maintain the oppression.
In my mind was telling these young people they have a right to defend themselves. You're getting brutalized. So if some racist police is brutalizing you, you got to flip him on his butt, take his billy club, and make him act in a desired manner. And the desired manner is not to have him beating on you and brutalizing you and cracking your head.
On the 4th day of the Democratic Convention, the confrontation between police and protesters climaxes. That afternoon, demonstrators rally in Grant Park, a few blocks from the Democratic Party headquarters in the Conrad Hilton Hotel. This is the one event of the week for which a permit has been issued. 20,000 people attend. At 3 p.m., a demonstrator attempts to lower an American flag to half-mast.
The police beat their way into the crowd, took the boy, arrested him, pulled him out. I wrapped a line of marshals around that side of the crowd that had been invaded. Then I communicated on a bullhorn to the police that, the situation is clearly under control, and if you would kindly pull back, it would assist us in having a peaceful rally.
The police don't pull back, but instead charge the crowd.
I had a lot of policemen literally screaming, "Kill Davis," and almost in a unison. I could hear it coming. On the ground being clubbed over and over again, that probably was one of 2 times when I thought I might not make it through this one.
Rennie Davis is taken to a local hospital. Dave Dellinger and Tom Hayden are now divided as to the next course of action.
The people are going to line up to try to march out, and at that point they're going to be tight enough on this side for us.
Tom said, Rennie has been knocked unconscious, and you're still saying that we should be nonviolent. So I'm going to take over the microphone, and I am going to urge people to resist.
So for the purposes of survival, you should move out in small groups. Don't get trapped in some kind of large organized march which can be surrounded.
I had advocated a nonviolent march toward the amphitheater, but Tom said, no, that's only a trap, and if the blood flows from us, then I want the blood to flow all over the city.
Hayden's Grant Park speech is being recorded and will later be used as evidence against him in the Chicago conspiracy trial. Crowds of demonstrators now move out of the park and head for the Democratic Party's convention headquarters at the Hilton Hotel.
They began coming down Michigan Avenue, building line to building line. There had to be 20,000 of them. And they were wild.
A police line is hastily thrown across Michigan Avenue at Balbo Street. The march comes to a halt directly in front of the Democratic National Party headquarters. The scene that follows is one of panic and confusion. It is the bloodiest confrontation of the week, and it takes place in the full view of the delegates and the national news media.
The protesters who were in Grant Park were chanting, "The whole world is watching, the whole world is watching, the whole world is watching." And then the news just sweeps through the convention that the cops are slaughtering kids in the street. They're beating kids everywhere. And then there are motions made to adjourn the convention in Chicago and take the convention to another city.
Most delegates to this convention do not know that thousands of young people are being beaten in the streets of Chicago.
With George McGovern as President of the United States, we wouldn't have to have Gestapo tactics in the streets of Chicago.
Out of this extreme malaise formed this 17 minutes of continuous film, which was shown to the whole country. It becomes just the most watched political event up to that time, with an immense political impact.
Later in the evening, a number of delegates joined with protesters for a candlelight vigil. The violence is over, but the country is left with the gnawing question of who will take responsibility for what happened in Chicago. When Crime Stories continues.